So a man walks into the doctor's office, into the GP surgery, and says, I'm feeling pretty down, like, I'm feeling kind of sad and demoralised. And the doctor goes, you've got depression. It's somewhere in you. You have this invisible noun called depression. And the problem is with you. Your feelings aren't based on anything real. Let's not ask you some questions and find out why you're sad, disappointed, demoralised. No. What you've got is a chemical imbalance in the brain. You got a broken brain. All your painful feelings are your fault and nothing to do with whatever made you sad in the first place. Fuck you, basically, and keep taking these pills so that you never really express or know how sad and disappointed and demoralised you are, so that you never get the emotional signals that help you craft the life that you like, and so that you can be aware of who is demoralising you, what is demoralising you, what are you upset about. Nope. Broken brain syndrome. And so you get put in this box, this category box called depression, and you feel like it depresses on you all the time, and you have to be in a constant lifelong battle against this thing called depression. You better keep taking those pills, otherwise you're going to start feeling depressed again. You're going to start feeling demoralised again, because you haven't changed your life, because the pills encouraged you not to change your life. And the system will tells you you've got no reason to feel sad. Emotions don't make any sense. We don't need emotions. We need worker peons who just go to work and their feelings don't get in the way, and there's no revolution because no one can feel, because they're all taking their pills. And you are in this category called you have OCD. And they're like, shit, I have OCD, so I won't be able to fix this. Yeah, you have autism, so I won't be able to fix this. Yeah, it's part of you forever. You have schizophrenia. You have bipolar. You have social anxiety. Well, what the fuck? So you go to a doctor to get these things fixed, and so you can move on in your life, and they just tell you it's permanent and it's part of you, and you're just not reacting to life correctly without ever empirically testing your brain chemistry. So it's very accidentally inhumane, I guess. Yeah. Or you're a divergent. I'm on the spectrum. It's like, hello. There's correct, genuine, authentic human functioning, and then there's a bunch of inhibitions created by a bunch of thinking and avoidance, and past painful experiences where that avoidance structure made sense for your self-protection, and you may not need it anymore now if you've left that context where you were living with your parents, dependent on them, or whatever, or you were in some kind of abusive relationship or something. And then you get out of that relationship, you no longer need those self-hiding mechanisms so that no one can see things which triggers them to attack you. And you stop, and then what's the doctor say? He's basically saying, yeah, you're meant to feel sad. It's actually affirming it in a wrong way. Like, yeah, you're meant to feel sad. That's who you are. You're a sad person, and and I don't respect it. I don't respect it at all. I just don't respect it. Like, I supposedly got schizophrenia. They say psychosis as well. I don't know, whatever they want to call it, whatever box they want to trap me in and make me think I'm stuck with it forever. Like, no, I just one of these people who's a truth seeker, and we get lost along the way, and there's not much assistance socially for thinking outside the norms, to point out problems, to understand what's not working. No, we're all just expected to just put the blinkers on, live in the ever-shrinking positive world, and basically it's just a big middle finger from the system. It's like you go in all vulnerable and scared and hurting and you need help. What do they say? They basically do that at you, and that's it. Of course, I don't believe that blame don't make sense. Blame don't make sense when you understand evil. It don't make sense. Blame don't make sense. That's what I'm saying. These doctors are believing in blame. They're essentially blaming the patient. They're like, well, we can't drug your abuser, so we'll drug you instead. And thereby, in effect, side with the abuser by hiding the effects of what the abuser did. So that the world can just continue being abused by that person, and no one can understand who the abusive people are, because they're working for the abusers. Right? Drug it out of her, then we can hide the signals that there's an abuser knocking about, and make her think, just like the abuser did, that it's all her fault. You know how abusers do that? Because the abusers know that they should be ashamed for what they're doing. So what do to keep on doing it? They make the abusee or the victim, they make them feel their shame, feel the shame that they should have had as the abuser. And the system's doing exactly the same thing, backing up that abuser all the way, backing them up. And we're all just human beings, yeah? We can all become fully autonomous, fully authentic human beings that have learned how to operate in the world and stand up for themselves and avoid people that hurt them and create a life they want. We need people to be emotionally attuned. We can't just have a system that's numbing everyone's emotional reaction to real problems that need addressing in societal conditions. Emotional expression is always a good thing. Can we react emotionally to inaccurate beliefs about the world? Yeah, we can, and that's why you have to be careful. But emotions are still always necessary to express. They are our relief. Crying is a relief. It's not a negative emotion. They're all positive emotions. Are there fucked up emotions that aren't meant to exist in nature, like anger, hatred, regret, guilt? Pleasure from domination complexes and superiority complexes. There's a bunch of fucked up feelings for sure, but there's still a clue to go back deeper into the original feeling, but work back through the displaced feeling, work back through the projection, work back through the feeling from a false belief. We need the signal of emotion either way. We need to understand it so that we can help the core need that they have that's not being met. And we need it. We need it, everyone. We need it. And this is about time we stop this, I better not cause a scene, or I better not lean on someone, my friend, or I better not be a dependent drag by crying. No. We all have to be brave enough to wear our true feelings in our bodily expression. We have to let them happen. We can't have the superego or other people or abusers control our face, control our body position. That's ours. Our face is ours, and we're going to show how we feel on our face for the sake of the whole world. And just because boys weren't allowed to cry doesn't mean we have to tell women they're now not allowed to cry. Because otherwise people are going to have this build up of tears behind a dam, and it's going to just burst out in even more strong and potentially destructive ways, because it's not coming out in a natural, true way. And you know what it's like when you cry. only then do you really know how sad you were. Only then do you really know what pain you were feeling. And how do you feel after you cry? That pain is lesser. It's a relief, it's therapeutic. We need our feelings. They make sense. Feelings, emotions are logical. Are they in response to some illogical mental constructions? Yeah, sometimes. That's why we have to work to build build the accuracy of our world conceptions. But still, even then, given what the emotion is reacting to, whether it's an accurate or inaccurate belief, given what it's reacting to, the emotion is always logical. Always. And we have a system that's just, anyone who's hurt gets further hurt. Anyone who's hurt goes for help for their pain, and what happens? They get hurt even more. Someone does a criminal act, no one gives a fuck. You're a permanently bad person. Identify with all of your twisted distortions that weren't your fault, and you'll never get out of them. Now go to prison and just learn through punishment. We're going to separate you for this specific arbitrary number of years. It's like, how about you send them to the public separation and rehabilitation center and see how long it takes you to fix them. Okay, what's this fixed term prison sentence bullshit about? It's bullying victims. It's just the system is a bully. You can argue about intent or motivation all you like, but I'm interested in the effect. I'm interested in how it lands for the people who need help, how it lands for the vulnerable, and how it lands, because strategy effectiveness is important. It's not always about intentions. You have to be able to affect your intentions. Like, I was only trying to help. Yeah, okay. Even the worst person in the world, child rapist or something, you could argue they're trying to help deep down. Yo, something really bad happened to me. Look what happened to me. Like, if I don't make this clear that something was done to me, it's going to happen to other people, because there's a problem in the system. Look what happened to me. Look, let me amp up how much I enjoy what I should never enjoy doing as a true human being. Look, help. Okay, everyone's well-intentioned. Okay, but it's not just, and intentions are about ends, what you want to achieve. It's not just about intentions, it's about the pathway to getting there, to what you want to achieve, to how you want to help. Strategy is important. Means, if you want to call it that, or method, if you want to call it that, or pathfinding, if you want to call it that. That is important, okay? And when people criticize the effects of the system being essentially bullying the bullied, that ain't a fucking debate about people's good intentions. It's just not. It's about, hey, I appreciate your good intentions, let me help you actually achieve those good intentions. But people feel questioned in their moral integrity. But I knew I was trying to help. I knew I'm a good person. It's like, yeah, I'm not questioning that. I'm trying to help you, in effect, be that to the world. Yeah, that's what you want, right? Since you care so much about your moral integrity and your good intentions, then you should give a fuck also about actually affecting those good intentions. So you should be like, oh, thank you so much. I didn't know about that. Rather than feel morally judged and castigated. And this is why people in positions of responsibility, this is why it's most important for those people to not have an ego, a fragile, like, defended kind of idea that they're a good person. No, you have to be open, humble, learn. Everyone's got to learn. I don't care if you've got a DR with a dot before your name. It doesn't matter. We're all here to learn. That's it. Otherwise, we may as well all top ourselves. And sometimes people reach the conclusion that, well, you know what? since I can't get help for my pain, I better do something. I better make some kind of statement that proves I was in pain, that proves it was real. You know what? I'm going to commit suicide. Or you know what? I'm going to go into a school with an assault rifle and a bump stock, and I'm going to... Because someone will surely understand my pain then. Surely then they will believe that I've been hurt. And that's what this system is pushing people into doing. So fuck your little symptom categorization boxes. Symptoms. How about genuine human reactions to real events? Symptoms. Oh, just put you in you're in this box now forever. Fuck off. I ain't in no box. I'm not in a man box. I'm not in a woman box. I'm not in an English person box. I'm not in a left-wing politics box, a right-wing politics box, a fucking neurodiverse and a neuro-non-diverse. I mean, neurotypical. I mean, I'm sorry, but there is a typical oppression of humans and how they behave, and we should all be non-typical. We are all non-typical. We're all neurodiverse. We're all neurodiverse. It's called everyone being a unique human being. And as soon as we get that through our heads that everyone's just unique, maybe people will stop freaking out about someone having 4 fingers or something. Everyone's unique and different. It's a universal fact. It's what unites us. It's how we can relate to one another, because we're all different. Every single person, we're all unique. Otherwise, why would there not just be one human being who's everyone? Like, no. We're all fucking different. That's the whole point. We exist. That's why we're here. Different tastes, different confusion tendencies, different life experiences, different absorbed knowledge, different growth patterns, different growth deficiencies, different priorities, but we do have shared universal priorities as well. Like, if we're hungry, we need to eat. If we're thirsty, we need to drink. Different ambitions, different goals, different enjoyments, different hobbies, different loves. You should love everything, but collecting different items, like obsessions and passions, perceptive capacities, perceptions, interpretations, physiology. We're all unique, right? So get that through your thick skulls, system. We're all unique. What the fuck are we talking about neurodiverse and neurotypical for? What the fuck is neurotypical? Who the fuck wants to be neurotypical? And this is this idea of normality in the Western world. We've got this idea of be normal, you might get attacked. Fuck normal. Fuck normal. I tell you what's normal, you being who the fuck you are, and being given the chance to be confident and stand up for who the hell you are. That's what normal is. Normal is being your true self. Normal ain't some fucking general prison that we're all in. Fuck that shit. That's abnormal. That's centrally planning human beings and pretending that you can control them, trying to make people fake all the time. Doubt themselves all the time, self-attack all the time, not believe in their growth potential all the time, not believe in their goodness even, and it's horrible. And you know what happens when you're a truth seeker? You're trying to understand stuff and you get confused and you get paranoid and you overthink and you forget your heart intuition about people actually love you and stuff. What happens? Someone turns up at the door and takes you away in handcuffs and takes you to a psychiatric prison where the whole system, the architecture included, the procedures and everything, are designed to hurt us when we're in there, So people who are hurting get hurt more by the system. Just like people who want to learn can't stand school. People who want their learning to be self-directed can't stand school, can't get through school, can't get good grades, because they have to respect themselves. And out of respect to themselves, they're like, I'm not playing ball. I'm not going to try my hardest. I don't care about the deadline, as you call it. I don't give a fuck. I'm too curious to learn. I'm out of here. The system does the opposite of what it's supposed to do. And at least with like physical health hospitals, you know, fair enough, like they know what the fuck they're doing. But these mental health ones, I mean, and it's all because science don't understand consciousness, science don't understand emotions, science don't understand morality, and can't see the thoughts that are in your head, and so and science is obsessed with material causality and doesn't understand the power of beliefs. Tells people they don't even have beliefs. There's some kind of religious-y, Christian-y thing or something. It's like, no, it's a human thing. Like if you didn't have beliefs, you'd be in a coma or something. Because what the fuck are you going to do? Oh, there's someone's needs. Well, I can't have beliefs, so do I know if their needs are real or not? I don't know. I certainly can't get to the point of helping someone's needs, helping society's needs, being an entrepreneur, creating something that meets people's needs, or in a relationship meeting each other's needs. No, there's no beliefs, right? No, just try and walk into your house to the left of your front door and smash your head on the brick wall and keep telling yourself everything is subjective. There's no such thing as beliefs. Douche, 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 douche. No. You need beliefs to function in the world. You have beliefs about how you should harmonize control and instinct so that you can learn to walk. We need beliefs. We have beliefs. It's true. Okay? But science has told us that belief is something that is like I guess it's like a truth claim that we agree with, that is about something that science hasn't proven yet. If science has proven it, it's not a belief anymore. No. The role of science is to corroborate a bunch of subjective experiences of scientists repeating the same experiment and using their subjective experience to look through the microscope, etc., look at the readouts. That requires belief. And your role as scientists is to inform the refinement of our beliefs for what you have so far proven, and not tell us that what you have not yet proven don't exist. Okay? And completely invalidating human experience. Our human experience, you want to call it subjective, you want to call it the direct sensory experience of the present moment and all the present moments you've lived. Our human experience is being relegated to nothing and no meaning. Scientists, the priests of society, the scientists are telling us that our personal experience in life has no meaning. That's what they're telling us. Because they don't know how to record subjective experience yet. And what's important is the components of things, the smallest parts of things, because we can predict them more easily, predict their behavior more easily. Well, guess what? There's not just the smallest components and parts or the biggest cosmological entities. No. This is what matters most to us, the human perspective, the human level of perspective and scale and experience. You know, my bike back there is a thing. It's a total. It's an object. It is a real whole object. I don't just have to look at it and go, well, it's got these metal spokes and and then they're made out of this, and they're painted with this, and this is... No, the bike is a thing. A human being is a thing. We are real. We're not just a bunch of dead atoms bouncing around randomly, as if randomness was a thing. Like, what the fuck is randomness? Can anyone explain what that is? Basically, it's shit that's too complex to predict, so they just call it random, right? And even random number generators, they're not random. There's no such thing as random. Obviously, we have a colloquial term, random, like, well, that was random, sort of, just like I wasn't expecting that, or well, that was surprising, or that was unusual, or something. Like, but at the end of the day, in terms of mathematical sense, there's no such thing as random. There's no such, and this idea that there's probabilistic behaviors, no. It's just too complicated for you to understand. You haven't got the full picture, so you have to use probabilistic representations. That might be the end of my rant, actually. No, it's not. You know, what's the point of having a human-designed system? Buildings, infrastructure, social organization, rules, and behavioral norms, blah, blah, blah. What's the point in having any of that if it's inhumane? You know, the whole point of it is to, let's move towards a humane system, since it is the human-made world that's fucking things up. It ain't the natural world that's causing us problems. That's why you go out to the woods, or you put your feet in the grass and it heals you. Because the human-made world is inhumane. And I humbly suggest that we make it humane. Is that a fucking big ask? Is that a fucking out there point of view? No. It needs to be humane. Not just something you think will be good for economic growth, and never is. You notice that? Isn't that interesting? While they keep relegating human experience to nothingness, what's happening? They can't grow the economy. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, first of all. And they're all ideologically trapped and scared of other people's perspectives. But the fact is, what does it become? When the system is inhumane, what happens? It's a wealth draining system. It's a keep running on the hamster wheel system. It's keep running to stand still system, while we take maximum wealth from you. And all these corrupt transnational corporations controlling our politics while trying to pretend it's democracy. No, that's what happens. An inhumane system it is inhumane on all levels, all the way up to the top. So we need to believe in each other's goodness. You know, this Thomas Hobbes came up with this idea that nature is red in tooth and claw, that human beings are evil at heart and must be controlled. But the only reason humans are evil in the first place is because they were controlled and no one believed in their goodness. We must understand that Hobbes' idea was bollocks. Okay, useful for me to understand what happened, I suppose. I don't know. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. We're all good at heart because we're natural organisms, and all natural things are loving, because anything in cosmological evolution, in planetary evolution, in biological evolution, anything that survives and persists, will be that which works with everything else, harmonizes with everything else, is in its right place, and therefore is in a loving surroundings, and is loving to its surroundings. That's by nature what happens. And we are, whatever the word for animals should be, we are animals, and we are loving. And people, we need to just never give up on believing in every human's loving nature. And also animals as well. Some people are questioning that, like, which is fucking crazy when you see how much love dogs give. We can't give up on each other. We can't condemn each other. It's going to destroy us all. It costs us. Anyone out there who's become bitter or hurt or confused, it is in all of our interests, not just them, that we stick up for their goodness and believe in it, and show that that's our belief. Really believe in it, and it will come out in your expression. You'll be on the high street and you'll see all these cute humans, fathers, children, mothers, children, daughters, sons, old people, couples, and you're going to naturally just smile, be like, that's beautiful. And they're going to feel people around them believing in their love, and they get closer together. The couple gets closer together, and it protects us all. It protects us all because people being good get seen as being good, and then they believe in themselves, and it reinforces, I am a good father, or I am a good boyfriend, blah blah blah. And we do love each other. Look, they all see it, they believe in it. It must be real, and then they love each other more. End of the day, we can be disgusted by evil behaviours if we want to, but that doesn't mean the person who done them is a piece of shit and should be thrown away. No, we have to save them. We can't afford to lose a single soul, okay? And we've lost so many souls. Even in the people who still look like they're alive, walking around, we lost their souls sometimes. But it's not lost, but it's just not there sometimes. I think all the people who've died, all the people who've been abused, all the people who've committed suicide, we've lost too many people already. We need to wake up. We can't afford to lose a single person. And sometimes, to make the point clear, we need to walk into the gates of hell and be like, good morning, how you doing, hiya. All those people drowning in the mud, we need to pull them out of there. We need to. If someone's in the lust level of Dante's Inferno, whatever it is, jealousy, greed, we have to save them. And all this, in their interest or in our interest, is bollocks. It's in all of our interests. Oh, but we better not reward bad behaviour. Yeah, so don't then. You better not reward bad behaviour. That would incentivise bad behaviour. Well, you know what really incentivises bad behaviour? Making people identify with their fucked upness. That wasn't their fault. You permanently making people believe that they are the kind of person who commits crimes or whatever. It's not helpful. That's what incentivizes more evil. Rewarding them it's not a reward to just treat them as a full human being and believe in who they are at core. And you don't even need to know someone's name. You don't even need to know their backstory. As soon as you meet someone, you can look through to what you know is their core, because it's all of our core. You see them with an acknowledgement. You acknowledge that they are lovable and that they are loving and that they can believe in themselves and that they should. And that's all you have to do. Whoever you see. I don't care how low confidence they are. You know that they are confident inside. You know that they're supposed to be. I don't care how confused and hateful and bitter and angry they are. You look at them and you see who they are deep down, and that brings them to the surface. And is classification and by category a useful thing? I guess. I mean, if it's something simple enough that you can make an accurate category for it, like an electron or something, you go, well, that's an electron, we can categorize. But at the end of the day, categories are, it goes back to science's problem, but where it reifies, where it makes real the laws and behavioral principles that can be quantified and mathematically represented or whatever, or linguistically represented. It makes those primary to what was described. But I'm sorry, there's no description of how things behave with each other that without those things having those behavioral properties. So categories are not defining us, controlling us. No, we represent categories, whatever those are. We're very complex beings. We're complex objects. So the category of human being has to be pretty complex to allow our full behavior within it. But we're not, like I say, we shouldn't be working within a category, a conceptual abstraction. No, the descriptions come, what is described is more primary than the descriptions. There aren't some secret mathematical laws of nature underneath everything. No, you derive them from the way an electron feels about a proton, and the way the proton feels about an electron. And so categories also are not primary to what is being categorized. And when that category falls short to represent what was being categorized, the category must change, not us. Otherwise, categorization becomes a prison. And people can't be seen for their full self, for who they fully are, because it don't match the category, which is always simplistic. But yeah, do we want a label for? I had this particular type of confusion the other day, and it was called this or whatever, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's better to just use the full detailed description of what the hell's going on. Sufficiently descriptive, just sufficient detail. I don't know. And in a naturally aligned human world, like in ancient Egypt, the peer pressure would have made sense. It would have been in a position where it made sense. Everything in its right place, right? Everything in its right place. Everything in its right place. We got to make space for the full, authentic dynamism of human beings, the full unpredictability of human beings, without being scared of each other's unpredictability, trusting in each other's good nature, and therefore making it the case that people can be trusted, because someone trusted them. But this goes back to science's view that you have to have the evidence before you form a belief. No, sometimes you have to have a belief to see the evidence, to get the evidence, for the evidence to turn up. I'm not saying the scientific method is not valuable, but I'm saying it has its place, and it has places where it shouldn't be, and it has stuff it can't talk about yet. So scientists need to shape up, and everyone needs to shape up. And by that I mean, do all this stuff I'm saying, understand all this stuff I'm saying, believe in each other, otherwise we're fucked. And not have expectations of each other, not try and predict each other. We're not a fucking Voyager probe, we're not fucking designing a Voyager probe to send round the slingshot round all the planets. No, that's prediction in its right place. Try and predict other human beings. I mean, do we want people to be consistent? Yeah. So how about you don't predict them all the time and trap them into your predictions and expectations? Because expectations are a load of shit. And then We'll have happy surprises. Oh, that's nice. Not scary ones. Because someone believed in them. And when you grow up in this world and you get no encouragement ever, because people feel it's a loss to them, they feel you won't be operating under your own steam. No, this is a shared project. Our civilization on this planet. This is a cooperative endeavour, and we all need each other. So when you say good morning to someone walking down the street and they look at you like you don't know me, well, don't take that as you being a weirdo saying hello to strangers. Saying hello to them. Stranger danger is a good thing to teach children, but at the end of the day, if we're adults, we can drop that shit. And let's not call them strangers. These are just other human beings who are in our community. If you just, when they reject your hello, you just know that that's them not believing they're lovable enough to get a hello from a stranger, from a person they don't know, let's say. And you keep going. You don't go, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and then you don't say hello to the next person who would have really appreciated it. No, you just keep going. It's the fight for love. And you're going to take hits doing it. You're going to take hits fighting for love. And you have to accept that and not make it compromise your commitment to fighting for love. And if anything, you're going to take more hits. You know why? So let's use a woman being fucked over by a guy who pretended he was interested in something lasting. He raped me and left. How's she going to express her pain to that guy? He fucked off. So it's the good guys who people can trust aren't going to attack them who will receive the most hits, who will receive the heat of those who have hurt people. And you have to understand that's part of the fight for love. If you're in the fight for love, you will receive punishment that, I guess from a selfish perspective, is unfair. But from a wider perspective, helps the person attacking you get out their pain, and when they see that you're not offended by them hurting you because you don't deserve it, then they'll ease into just a more kind of accurate and honest and less like projecting and less sort of attacking kind of expression of what needs were not met. What needs were betrayed. And you have to take those hits, because who the fuck else is going to take them apart from someone who's forgiving? And this idea of forgiveness is also a load of shit. Do you know why? Because we're supposed to be by default forgiving. We should never get to the point of having a grudge where we need to forgive someone. We should have a clear enough perspective that we never even have to forgive, because we never even get to the point of needing to forgive, because we're already by default always a forgiving person, because we understand that holding something against someone is not good for them, it's not good for us, it ties them to us, it ties us to our abuser because we're constantly thinking about them in a grudge way. No, we have our energy for ourselves, and we can choose who's in our life, and we can believe, and we should believe in our abuser's potential for growth, for the sake of everyone else, so they don't go on and doing it to other people. Believe in people's redemptive potential. You don't need forgiveness, because you never get into a state of mind of thinking about someone where you would have to forgive them. It's just you understand people are fucked up by the modern world, and you don't hold it against them. So you got to take the hits. You got to be a punching bag who loves people. That's it. That's the goal. That's what being good is. That's what being in the fight for love is. You've got it being graceful or dignified, or being a gentleman, or being a good person, being graceful. Yeah. And everyone's graceful when they're their true selves. What is it when someone's graceful? They're a true human being. Real human being and a real hero. And what happens when someone's graceful? The whole world is cooperating with them. Even the wind blowing their hair is working for how they're walking and where they are and when they're about to cross the road or something. That's what grace is. It's being yourself, which means being driven by your contextual, your surroundings. Because what the hell else is supposed to drive our actions than our stimulus? Sure, we do direct our actions according to conceptions of things, but in terms of the way in which we're natural, like the way in which we're like the other animals, it should just be our instinctual response to stimulus. That's what our true behavior is. So you need to be driven by the sensory world around you. I don't like the word sensory, but also you need to be driven by your surroundings, but not driven by the anti-human influences that have crept into imperfect human designs. And that includes people hurting you. But learning to walk, that was a kind of control of your natural impulses, or a refinement of it, holding back in tactical ways where your leg could move, the impulse could move your leg in a way that was effective for walking. So we do need to build systems of self-control, but as Bruce Lee said, control and instinct should be harmonized. So if control does not serve the effectiveness of instinct, then control shouldn't be used for anything else. But you separate people from their instinct, make them into these head in the clouds kind of overthinker, super logical kind of avoider of their own feelings. Then they can't harmonize instinct and control, because their instinct is blocked off and they become too controlled. Someone with not enough self-control becomes, their instinct is damaging. Whether that's just dropping a glass on the floor and smashing it, it's destructive, like an ineffectively developed self-control for a particular action will lead to destruction. And I can't stand seeing all of these hurting people. But you have to, because we've got to be there for each other. But it's so sad, it's so upsetting to see how all these people how the attacks on them have held them back and made them something less than who they are, and just people who are miserable but can't find any relief in the system or in their social surroundings, and so they're just miserable and they just carry it all day, and they're embarrassed to cry even when they're on their own. And someone starts crying and people say, "Oh, don't cry, don't cry." No, do cry! I understand it's motivated by love. It's like I said about intentions, but in effect, you're shutting down their crying. You're shutting down their relief, and they might be like, "Oh, that's nice that he don't want me to cry. He don't want me to feel this way." But at the end of the day, we should support. We have to. Oh, well done. You're crying. Oh, don't cry. That makes us nervous. Oh, don't bring up his friend who just committed suicide. Let's not ruin the vibe. I'm sorry. That's what we're here for. His friends just committed suicide. What the fuck else are we here for? We're supposed to be his friends, right? Oh no, don't ruin the vibe. We don't have the faith that we can be a good therapist. Everyone just make sure let's all bury each other's painful feelings so that they're trapped in their body and cause some psychosomatic illness or displaced emotional expressions. No, we just found out one of our friends has a friend who's committed suicide. That is we should all go, oh, that's what we're doing right now. Rather than, oh, don't talk about it, don't bring it up, no. That's a failure and a betrayal, and it makes people feel like they can't ever really be friends with anyone, and they can't really trust anyone, and we're all just pretending to be friends. You just be like, how are you holding up? Like, and let them tell us, please, because someday you're going to be in that situation, and you probably already have been, where you have something painful that you need help with, you need people to listen, and you need to get clear about how to see it, and it comes back around, right? What goes around comes around. And maybe your mum dies, and you go to the friendship group and you remember the rule that not to disturb the vibe, and you keep it in, and no one shares anything, and we can't help each other. What's the foundation of this? What are the necessary conditions? We have to have a principle for allowing the maximum freedom of expression to all people that doesn't harm them or others. Maximum allowance of expression. No, oh, that's a bit weird. No. Maximum expression allowance. Like I say, only limited by if it harms them or others. But even then, it's a sign. Even then, it's more important. Even then, it's more important to understand what's going on for them, so that they stop hurting themselves or others. So we have a principle, maximum allowance for freedom of expression. And then the second principle, listen. Don't put words in their mouth. Don't talk about your own relatable experiences yet. Listen to them. Let them speak, and be genuinely aware that you do not know what's going on for them to the degree that they haven't explained it yet. And they'll move into a more and more deeper, truer way of expressing what's going on for them. So we need to know how to listen and show you're listening, so it was like you were feeling blah blah blah. I see, yeah, of course. Oh my God, that's hard. So what you're saying is yeah, okay. Because if you really try to help someone, you have to have the humility to admit you don't know how to help them yet until they've expressed what's going on. And it may be at first an unhelpful way of expressing it, but you have to hear it, and it will get more and more true, and they'll get more clear about how they feel about things, and therefore they can move on from those painful moments and not be controlled by them, controlled by how they think about them. You know, it's not some big, scary, crazy, complex thing to be a therapist, okay? You allow maximized expression allowance, and you genuinely listen in a way. Don't like the word listen, but you genuinely letting them help you understand. And it'd be nice if the GP at the surgery could do that, wouldn't it? And I know that Big Pharma has a way more powerful lobby than therapists, and they shouldn't be called the rapists either, because that's not helpful. But the language stuff is an aside. Like, it's not that hard. Like, you can help people, I promise you. It's in who you are as a human being. It's what it's what we know how to do instinctually. We know how to do it. So I've run out of filters, so that's the end of this video. I'm going to go buy some more. Just please keep loving each other, please, God. And please believe you're loving good people, because you are. And believe everyone else is a loving good person, because they are. And rescue each other. And it's not going to be an energy drain. I'm not saying you should throw your love down a black hole of someone who just can't receive it and you can't reach, and they just can't. It requires something that they've got to do. But I'm saying you still believe in their true nature as a earthling, which is loving. And just don't give up on each other, please.